Hi there everybody, this is Natasha Wilkinson, your independent Scentsy fragrance consultant from Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia Region 3. If you are new, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. So, I have got my coffee in my Hedwig mug today to celebrate Harry Potter's birthday. I will be doing a separate video on our Harry Potter release at some later day, but grab yourself a snack, grab yourself some coffee, because this is going to be a long video. This is, as you can see, almost overflowing, big laundry washing basket full of what I have been using, what I have been enjoying, home fragrance, body fragrance, you name it, for the past 2 months. Yes, you heard me right. This is my empties for the past 2 months. My goal this month is to try and get back on track with these videos, to try and get back into a routine. I've let life become life, and between work, between kids, between appointments, I've put things on the back burner, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to enjoy my home fragrance. I want to get back into a routine and hopefully share some more things with you at a date when they're coming out, not after they've been released or after they've been discontinued and things like that. So let's delve into it, shall we? So give me a couple of minutes and I'm going to sort this a little bit, because as I said, it's 2 months worth of home fragrance here, and I'm going to put some on the table so I'm not trying to reach down and you're not seeing the back of me all the time. So stay tuned. Okay, so they're all laid out on the table before me, so let's delve into it, shall we? I am going to start off with non-wax products, as I usually do, and if you've been following along with me for any amount of time, you will have heard me tell you I do have 4 children. One of them is 18, he has left the nest, but the other 3 children are still with me, and you will know that it's not an empties in this household without sharing laundry and cleaning, or a bit of both, as it's just a constant task. So I have quite a fair bit of laundry items here. I have the whole system of Pearlescent Coast. So I did with my last party closeout get a system of the Pearlescent Coast, because I had yet to try this fragrance in laundry. Typically I will buy a unfragranced laundry liquid from Woolworths or Coles and just buy the dry discs and the washer whiffs to get my fragrance, only because for me that does work out with the amount of washing I do a little bit more economical and a little bit more cheaper. And I do find that when I'm looking for fragrance, I get the most fragrance boost out of the washer whiffs and the dry discs. They are what, for me, fragrance my clothes, whereas the laundry liquid cleans your clothes. But when I do clothes parties out, I do like to layer on layer and get the whole system. So I really enjoyed this fragrance. It was fresh but sweet. A little bit floral, but it wasn't too overly what I'd refer to as girly, which means for my boys, they're not going to say it's too feminine or it's too pretty, but it just makes your clothes smell really clean but sweet and fresh at the same time. I liked this in wax when it was available in wax, but I think I actually enjoyed this more in the laundry products. And for me, there are some fragrances that I do prefer in other products over wax, and vice versa. And this is one of them. Fluffy Fleece is another one. It's one of my absolute favorite go-to for winter, which I'm surprised I haven't broken into yet. I kind of went with laundry for the fresher, cleaner route so far this winter, but Fluffy Fleece is one of those scents that I can take or leave in wax, but absolutely love in laundry. So it is strange, I guess you could say, how some carriers just make the scent more appealing to other products. So for me, this would be definitely a repurchase. So when I say I got the whole system, I got the laundry liquid, the washer whiffs, and the dryer discs, which I have since used up over this period of the last 2 months. So these have been going in my dryer for about 2 months now, so there's not much scent left in them, so I am ready to change them out with another scent. So the other two laundry products I have here are washer whiffs as well, but these are smaller version washer whiffs, which we no longer have. They just sell the large washer whiffs, but sometimes these pop up in clearance section, they sometimes pop up in flash sales, and they will sometimes pop up as part of LTA collections. So these I think I picked up in a clearance flash sale quite a few months ago. I have a big stockpile of whiffs that I'm working my way through. So I don't need any whiffs for a while, but when they pop up in things like clearances and flash sales, I'm definitely going to pick them up. And if I'm closing out a party, I'm definitely going to pick them up because they are something that I do use constantly. So this one is Vanilla Barnwood, and this I love in wax. I have a small stockpile to get me through this winter before I have no more, but it is beautiful in laundry as well. This to me is a wintry scent. It's a perfumey vanilla cold air scent. Slightly masculine, but that perfuminess is so beautiful to it. And you feel like you're somewhere where you've stepped out into a cold, frosty morning or a cold, snowy morning. You can smell that cold air and the woods and the around you. I absolutely love this scent. And I think I've got maybe one more left in the washer whiffs before I run out. So they brought this out as a Christmas LTO in washer whiffs, and it has also been available as part of a wax collection. And here in Australia, I think we also had it in pods because I've got a little stockpile of pods as well. So it has been available in a few products, and it is one of those fragrances that I loved in everything and would pick up more of in everything if it did come back. As I am saying this, I did notice that the poinsettia flower in this fragrance has popped up in our birthday bash. So I am tempted to go and grab some of that in the poinsettia fragrance flower soon. And the other one I have, which for me is more of a summery scent, but again, it's another beautiful scent that they brought out as part of a summer collection, and that was Fiji Flower. So Again, another one I absolutely loved in wax, but I do find for me in wax, I do need to let that one cure to get optimal performance in wax. But in laundry, this is absolutely fantastic. This is a pretty tropical, fruity, floral, but fresh at the same time. I would say for me, Vanilla Balmwood and Pearlescent Coast, the boys would gravitate towards more than they would this. This might be a little bit too girly for them, but if I'm the one washing their clothes, they get what they get. Okay, so that was the laundry side of things. Now we're moving to general house cleaning, maintenance side of things. So I picked this up, I think on eBay or somewhere, because we haven't had these in Australia yet. They are available in other regions, but I did want to try them. The Scentsy Swipes. Now, if they were available here, would definitely grab some more, but I need to remember to close the lid because I left the lid open and some of them, I got through most of them before it happened, but the bottom lot dried up a bit. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. Didn't last as long as what I wanted them to last. So this one is in the fragrance Squeeze the Day. But my youngest one is a messy eater. She spills things everywhere. This is perfect for this type of household. Great for a easy cleaner. So I do hope at some stage they do look at bringing them into other regions other than region 1, because it's something that would definitely be a go-to for my household. Then I have a hand soap in Perfect Peppermint. So we no longer get the body products here in Australia, but saying that they do come out as special offerings in LTOs, in whiff boxes. This month's whiff box will have a hand soap in it. So if you do love our body products, if you love our hand soaps, potentially look at getting this month's whiff box, which I will do an unboxing when I get that. I know I didn't do an unboxing of last month's whiff box. It's still sitting over there. I may do a quick unveiling even though you can't get it anymore. As I said, behind in a lot of my videos. I do apologize. I am trying to get on track to being a little bit more frequent. So this is just peppermint. Toothpastey, peppermint scent, fresh, sharp, biting peppermint, but it's fantastic. It's great as a mixer. It's great if you just want that clean, fresh smell in winter, but don't want to use lemon scents in wax. But it just makes, in the hand soap, it makes your hands feel clean as well as smell clean. So I do enjoy this scent, but I do have to be in the mood for this scent. But in hand soap, it's the perfect scent for that type of product. Then I have a Scentsy Fresh in Arctic Kiss. So I use the Scentsy Fresh basically when I'm changing the bedding to spritz down the mattress, spritz the sheets, that type of thing. We have leather lounges, so I don't typically spray them on leather lounges. We don't have curtains, but this is great for just making the bedding feel a little bit fresher when you're making the beds up. So that's what I use my Scentsy Fresh for, and that's why you probably don't see me share this much, because I don't have much apart from the bedding that I probably spray this on in general. So it takes me forever to go through a bottle of this, and I do have a good stockpile of it from whiff boxes, although I did purchase this one when it came out as part of the collection, because Arctic Kiss is another one of my all-time favorite scents. It's fresh air, but then you've got this sweet, fruity melon note with it, and then the sweetness of vanilla. Absolutely beautiful. So something I typically don't buy, as I said, even though I use it. And the reason I typically don't buy it is because it pops up in the whiff boxes, which I buy from time to time, and that gives me enough in my stockpile that I typically don't need to buy. And I found that with the body products. I absolutely loved the body products when they were out, but I typically didn't buy them because enough came up in the whiff boxes that I didn't need to buy them. And unless you're buying things, they're not registering as overall in any company, not just Scentsy. And that's part of the reason why we probably don't have body products here in Australia anymore, is because there wasn't enough selling to show that people were interested in them. For me, it wasn't that I wasn't interested in them. It was just that I was buying the whiff boxes. They were coming in the whiff boxes, or they were coming in clearance on flash sales. So I was able to get them cheaper that way. And I had that stockpile that there was no need for me to keep purchasing. So, but this is a product that I do know is quite popular, and it's great for just spritzing around when you're just wanting to get rid of like sweaty odors on the bedspreads, things like that. I've got boys, so they can get stinky sometimes. Okay, so I believe that's most of my cleaning and laundry. So let's go through some of the randoms here. I do have some body wipes in pink pineapple sugar, which I used up. I actually need to put another pack in my handbag. I keep forgetting to put it in my handbag. So I typically carry one of these around in my handbag, again for the little one when we're out, to clean down his hands and face and body after he's eating. As I said, he's a messy eater, so this is something that kind of comes in handy for me travel wise. The pink pineapple and sugar, we've only had this in 2 fragrances here in Australia, which was the pink pineapple and sugar and one of the, I can't think of it offhand, but it was another summer fragrance last summer. So they've come out as part of the summer collection both times. And I did pick up a few because, as I said, they do come in handy for my little one. Although they're not my favorite fragrances. Wild Seaside, I think, was the other one. I enjoyed the fragrances, but I wasn't in love with them. There were other fragrances I would have preferred these in. But for what I'm using them for, they worked. Even though I probably wouldn't pick up the fragrances by themselves. And if they were to come in a fragrance I absolutely loved, I would probably buy these by the truckload for what I do use them for. Okay, let's talk fragrance flowers, shall we? Because I have some fragrance flowers on the table here. So, I did finish up, have a drink from my Harry Potter cup. I did finish up the berry apple shortbread fragrance flower, which I had in my bathroom, and I replaced it with the Drifting Petals fragrance flower, which is currently in the bathroom. And this was from a whiff box exclusive, I think. It's a pretty green, fresh fragrance. It's not throwing overly strong, but I do have other fragrance components in the bathroom, including a candle and a warmer. So it's just kind of adding to the decor and the ambience and the softness in there. I would have liked this to be stronger. Some of the other fragrance flowers do throw stronger, but I am enjoying it for what it is. Then I had the honeysuckle dew fragrance flower in the main bathroom. Now this one throws through that whole bathroom. That is the larger bathroom, and you can smell it as you walk in there. It is absolutely beautiful. But then I do love myself white florals. I do love white, heady, tropical florals, which is what gardenias and honeysuckles are. They've got a saturated sweetness about them that I absolutely adore, with like a syrupiness at the same time. This, if this was available in wax here in Australia, I would go crazy over. Lush Gardenia has to be my favorite floral that Setzi have made, and I know it is one that can be overpowering to some people, and you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. When it comes to those type of florals, I'm definitely a love it girl. So they were the fragrance flowers. What else do I have here that is not wax? So I used up a hand cream in Jammy Time. I really do enjoy our hand creams. Again, another product we can't get here in Australia, unfortunately, because they did discontinue our body line, but they do pop up from time to time in the clearance section, and they do pop up from time to time as LTOs. What I enjoy about our hand cream is that it soaks into my hands. It's not overly greasy, and you can still smell the fragrance. So Jammy Time is your sweet lavender laundry scent. We do have it in wax. It is just a beautiful lavender scent. I do love my lavender scents when they are sweeter rather than when they are more herbal. And this is definitely more a sweeter lavender scent. So we do have some light globes that I had to replace. So I had to replace 25 watt globe. I can't remember what warmers they were in. I replaced a 20 globe warmer. This one was in the Harry Potter warmer, which is in my son's room. So it did have a blue globe in it. He chose to, my 6-year-old chose to replace it with, I think it was the red color. It was either the red or the orange color, I think he chose. So it's now got either a red or a, it's got the red globe in it. I've got the box here. So he replaced it with the red globe. And then I have a 15 watt purple globe that has been popped into a mini warmer somewhere. Again, can't remember what warmer it was put in. Okay, let's talk some candles before we talk wax, shall we? So I have had a chance to go through some of the new candles or the new range in candles. So when the candles first came out, I purchased a vanilla bean buttercream candle. Since used it up, this was put into my bedroom. I really enjoyed this. At first I thought there was going to be a little bit of tunneling because it seemed to like peter in as it was warming, but then it evened itself out. I didn't have any issues. Throw was decent. It did fill my room up. It wasn't going to fill your room up like a warmer. Your candles are not going to throw like a warmer throws, but if you like candles, and I'm now at the stage where before I was with Scentsy, I did buy candles, but stopped because of kids and cats and kittens and messes like that. But they are now old enough I can go back to enjoying a candle as long as it's been enjoyed responsibly. And before my Scentsy days, I was winter, yeah, typical vanilla or a cinnamon candle. Summer, more of a floral candle. As you know, my scent preferences have changed, and I am really on a home fragrance kick now. So my candle preferences are probably going to change too. But vanilla bean buttercream candle, good basic candle to pop in my bedroom that is going to complement any scent that I am warming with my other home fragrance systems. So it lasted a while. It was great. Now, in the bathroom, I popped in the Amazon Rain candle and used that in the bathroom that we got from the Whiff box. Again, this for me is one of those go-to fragrances. If I don't really know what I want to warm, ticks all the boxes. It's slightly floral, but fresh at the same time, a little bit of fruity citrus notes in it. The only thing it doesn't tick is a bakery box, but I don't warm bakery in my bathroom anyway. So this was a perfect bathroom scent. And again, the scent throw was great. It filled up that small area and it complemented whatever fragrances were warming. I will say though, with this one, and I did also find with the vanilla bean buttercream one, as you got towards the bottom ending of your warming cycle, it did start to get a bit more sootier as you got towards the end of your candle. And that was kind of the indication that the candle was ready to be changed out. So worked really well as long as I was trimming the wicks, as long as I was doing all the candle care things that you needed to do. But towards your end of your candle process, as it got lower down, as you can see, you did get a little bit of sootiness. Okay, so I replaced the vanilla bean buttercream candle with another vanilla bean buttercream candle because that's just, I think, going to be my go-to one for the bedroom. And I did get another one for free during a promotion that Scentsy did, where if you spent over a certain amount of money, they gave you a candle for free. And the free one that came was vanilla bean buttercream. And it came just as I was finishing up that vanilla bean buttercream candle. So it just got replaced out with another vanilla bean buttercream candle. And in the bathroom, I replaced the Amazon Rain candle with a Luna candle. I have yet to light this to give you an idea on scent throw, on performance of the Luna one. This in wax is a beautiful, sweet, floral scent. Again, it's going to be perfect for my bathroom and complement all the other fragrances that I would typically warm in a bathroom. I have read from some people they get a lighter throw out of the candles with Luna. As I said, I cannot yet give you a, I guess, burning review on the candle for Luna yet because I have yet to light this one. Okay, now we have some pods to talk about. I did get through a pack of large cotton cleanups. So cotton cleanups is what I typically use to go through my wax and clean my wax out. So now let's talk pods. So in the bathroom, I did have ocean air and coconut water. I've just taken them out. I haven't replaced them yet because I want to clean the bathroom before I replace the pods, but I'm thinking my replacement is going to be Polar Bear Hugs. I'm feeling like I'm starting to reach for my wintry scents, so I'm feeling like we're going to go away from those aquatic-y scents that I have been putting in the wall fan diffusers in the bathroom and going towards more the snowy scents. And I'm feeling Polar Bear Hugs might be what this will be replaced with. So ocean air and coconut water is one of my favorite oceanic scents that Scentsy have done. It's sweet, but it is still watery, oceany, and clean without being salty. And I think it's that coconut note. It's more like an actual coconut water than your pulp or your fruit of the coconut. It is the water from a coconut mixed with a little bit of floral sweetness and that ocean scent. Absolutely love it. I did take out of I believe this was originally, from memory, actually, was it in the bathroom, in the laundry, and I replaced it with ocean coconut water? No. I think this was originally in my bedroom purifier. If it was not in the laundry, it was in the bedroom purifier. It's been 2 months. I'm trying to remember. Honeymoon Hideaway. I feel like it was in the bedroom originally, and I was going through my last summery phase and hadn't quite removed it. So this is just a soft, sweet, tropical floral. I had this somewhere. It's been used up now. I feel like it was the bedroom. And I feel like that was when I replaced it with vanilla amber, which is what has been going in the bedroom till my husband came and turned my purifier off. He can't sleep with the sound. But I am ready to change the fragrance out again. So that was what was in the bedroom. I feel like it was first Honeymoon Hideaway, then Vanilla Amber. I still haven't decided what I want to pop in those purifiers yet. So all my purifiers kind of need changing. All my fan systems need changing. I just haven't got around to deciding what I want to put in them. As I said, thinking laundry is going to be Polar Bear Hugs, but haven't decided on the rest yet. And then in the office, I must have really been feeling the vanillas because I had another Vanilla Amber going. So Vanilla Amber is beautiful. It is a perfumey vanilla, but it's got a richness with the amber that almost comes across a little bit gourmand but body care at the same time. I absolutely love this as a basic base vanilla for winter, and then in summer I usually switch to simply vanilla. So they are the pods. Let's talk some wax, shall we? So we're going to go bedroom first. Okay, so in my bedroom, as I said, I was definitely feeling those vanilla vibes because I also went through a Vanilla Amber wax bar, and that's probably when I popped in all the Vanilla Amber pods. I was obviously feeling that vanilla and feeling those vanilla vibes. Continuing on the vanilla train, I also went through a Simply Vanilla. So this is a little bit more body care, perfumey vanilla. It's a little bit more sweeter. And I get, there's not coconut in here, but there's a perfuminess that comes across with a lightness like you do get from a coconut. Even though it's not coconut, you get that light, fresher, perfumey note. And that's why I typically reach for Simply Vanilla in summer, and then there's more of a heady, ambery note in vanilla amber that makes me reach for that more in winter. But if you're looking for just a beautiful body care perfumey scent, these two are absolutely fantastic. I do get a lighter throw performance with Simply Vanilla, so I do have to load up my warmers to actually, for my nose, to actually get a better performance with Simply Vanilla. In my old place, I could hardly smell it at all. If I load up the warmers here, if I let this cure a little bit, I get that beautiful, sophisticated body care perfumey vanilla that I absolutely love in summer. Then I went through now this may not have been in the actual order that I actually went through them, but I went through a Tony Sunsets from the Star Wars collection. So this is vetiver. One of the notes was vetiver. I think there was amber, woodsy note type thing. So this is definitely a more masculine, perfumey, deep, rich, woodsy scent, but one that I do enjoy in winter in my bedroom. You do have to like masculine vetiver type scents to enjoy this. I'm not always the biggest fan of masculine scents, but this has that sweet woodsy perfuminess that I enjoy in masculine scents without it going too fresh cologne, too bergamonte. I also went through in the bedroom an ambered oak and suede. As you can see, I was feeling all of the, I guess you could say, besides vanilla, I was feeling all of those perfumey, body care, sophisticated, woodsy notes in the bedroom for some reason these last 2 months. Okay, so this was part of one of the monthly edits. I can't remember which month it was in. I did enjoy this. I think I found it on the lighter side though, and I don't know if it was during that period of time where I was a little bit with a head cold, because I know there was a period of time where I did have a head cold, and it might have been just before I came down with that. I feel like this is one I need to warm again to remember it more, because I feel like this was warmed closer to the beginning of the 2 months and I remember enjoying it. I remember feeling like I would grab some more bars to enjoy, but I don't remember being blown over by it. Like, I still feel like I would reach for Vanilla Amber or Simply Vanilla or Tony Sunsets before I would reach for this. But I feel like this is just a nice bedroom scent that if I had on hand, I would throw in the warmer, but I wouldn't be sad if I ran out of it. One that I know I do absolutely love, Hollow Harvest. I loved all of that Gaudy Goodness collection when it came out, but this is one I do kind of stick to using in my bedroom, even though this would be fantastic and works fantastic in open concept area. This has got this smoky, perfumey quality without going too smoky or too tobacco-y, with that sweetness of the pumpkin. And it lasts for days in my warmer in the bedroom, and I only have a few of these left. So to extend what I've got of them left, I will probably stick to warming these in winter in the bedroom, just so I can get all I can from this fragrance. Another one that I really do enjoy, which I've got a few left of still. I've probably got enough to last me for the next couple of years before I run out of, but this is one I do need to be in the mood to warm too, and that is Swirling Snowflakes. So this was from a previous Christmas collection. So it is minty, but there's also a eucalyptus flower note to it. So it's not straight medicinal eucalyptus or mentholy like Just Breathe, which I can't stand, but it still has that medicinally fresh, crisp type smell mixed with the mint that I actually really enjoy. And I think because it's got that powderiness with that flower in the eucalyptus flower, it kind of adds a perfuminess and a sweetness that Just Breathe doesn't have. So it goes more sharp and more menthol, whereas this is still fresh and clean and medicinal, but sweet at the same time. Really, really enjoy this. This lasts for days in my warmers too. This is one I can put in my warmer and get almost a full week out of before having to change it. I put this actually in 4 days ago. So this is what's currently in my bedroom, and I'm probably ready to change it now. I got 4 days out of it, and I'm happy with that because my working schedule at work is Sunday through to Thursday. So I could pop this in Sunday night when I get home from work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right before my days off, change my warmers. Whereas some of the other scents, most of my other fragrances that I pop in my warmer, there's some that do last for days. Don't get me wrong, I do have a bunch that last for days. But then there are others that maybe, like my Simply Vanilla, 1 day, 2 days, ready to change over. And if I can get scents that last through my work period and still enjoy them, I'm going to do that. Or that can last at least 2 days where my big long days at work are, because I do three full days and I do 2 half days. So even if I can get scents that last through my 2 long days before my half days start, then I can change my wax over during my half days and then change it and then have my full day and then have my days off and change it again. Works fantastic that way and works into my schedule fantastic that way. Okay, so let's delve into the laundry area or bathroom areas that I did outside of my bathroom. Typically, if I'm warming something in my bedroom, it's also going into my ensuite bathroom because those rooms are typically combined. You've got my room and then my ensuite, which is my bathroom. So I typically use the whole bar between the warmer that I have in my bathroom and my bedroom. So that was the bathroom as well in my room or my ensuite. And then this is the main bathroom and laundry. Okay, so now I don't know why I've got 2 cubes left. I will throw that into a warmer, probably in the laundry or the bathroom to get rid of it. It is strange that I have 2 cubes left. I know I made samples. I don't like having partial bars, and I do have a bunch of partial bars that I'm trying to work my way through. And I just don't know why I ended up with 2 loads of cubes. I would have thought that I would have used this up. Farmers Market Lane. So this was a scent of the month a couple of months back, 2 months back. Part of the Farmers Market monthly edit. Green, fresh, crisp, grassy Definitely one for your green, fresh, grassy people that love those type of scents. I enjoyed it. I have a bunch of them from the scent of the month. It's one I feel like I don't need to club more, but one that I would reach for when I'm in those type of moods. When I'm in the mood for something like Fearless by Nature, something like that, this definitely hits those buttons. I do enjoy those type of scents from time to time, but there are some that I would probably reach for more than I would reach for this. I think I would probably reach for Fearless by Nature before I would reach for this, but this definitely does hit those similar notes for me, and one that I'm not going to go to waste with my little collection I have, because it is one that I still enjoy with the collection I have, and I still do enjoy it. But if Club was still around here in Australia, let's put it this way, if Club was still around here in Australia, it's probably one that I wouldn't feel a need to club, but if I run out at any stage and it popped up in a clearance section, I might get one again to enjoy, because it's one of those scents for me I enjoy while I have, but I don't necessarily need to have, and I have to be in the mood to want to warm. Then we had Pineapple Mint. So this was from a previous Bring Back My Bar we had. This I had partial bar of, and I used the rest up of. I did enjoy this one. Again, I don't see a need to have a big backup pile of this one though. There are other pineapple scents that I would reach for time and time over again before I would reach for this one. But this is a nice change to your sweeter pineapple scents. It's got that herbal mint added to it, so it's got that bit of bite to it. But it is quite nice, and it is quite refreshing when you just want to clean up a place. Then we had Freshwater Sage. Again, this was from another partial bar I wanted to use up. Not the biggest fan of this one. I like it. Again, it's one of those scents I can take or leave. I don't hate it, but there's a salty edge to this that I'm not the biggest fan of either. And it could be the sage mixed with the fresh water. There's definitely other fresh water, fresh scents that I would reach for time and time over this. It's just not sweet enough for me, for my nose. Ones that I have yet to actually do warming reviews on, and I've only, I think, done samples of, are Strawberry Farm Sand and Morning Herb Garden, which were from the same collection as the Farmers Market Lane. They were from the Market Monthly Edit. So they were in my what I have been warming basket, but I don't remember actually warming them. If I have, I've forgotten warming them. I think I just made samples of them, but they were in there for me, I think, to warm and go through. Okay, let's go through the main living area, shall we? So, I think I started autumn out with Painted Leaves. This is a sharp, crisp, fresh scent of autumn leaves. It smells like a winter's day here in Bathurst, where I live in Australia. When you step outside, you've got the red leaves falling, got the crunch of the leaves, and that first heavy frost has come. That is what this smells like. And it reminds me of this. Now, we don't have this scent here in Australia, and we haven't had it for a long, long while. I think it came in one catalogue season, and it doesn't get voted. It gets given as an option to vote for, but I don't think, well, it definitely hasn't been voted back since I've been a consultant in 2020. So I don't think it's a popular scent, but I absolutely love it. And if I come across this anywhere in a flash sale, in a black market shop, anything like that, I'd probably pick up some more. Then we have to Halloween Town. I've got a good little stash pile of this, as this is my go-to every winter scent. I'm going to be a sad monkey when I finally do run out. I do hope that they bring it back from time to time as LTOs so I can just replenish my stockpile, or they bring it back every now and then as part of the sale section. This is a sweet woodsy scent with that fruity note, but it comes across to me like I've stepped into a good winery. They've poured the wines in those oak barrels, and you can smell the wood from the oak barrels. You can smell that rich red wine. That is what it comes across to me when I smell this, and I absolutely love this every winter. I typically go through, I'd probably do this again before winter's out. I usually warm this at least twice during a winter period. Usually every winter I will go through anywhere from 4 to 6 bars. I don't know if I can bring myself to do that though, because the more bars I warm, the quicker I'm going to run out. So I'm going to try and stick to 4 instead of my normal 6 I'd probably do. So I've got some for next winter as well. But I can't have winter without having this scent. Absolutely love this scent. One of my favorite scents. Then we have some Have S'mores Pumpkin. So this is rich, buttery pumpkin and brown sugar mixed with a little bit of cinnamon. I know that there have been better pumpkin scents out there, but for Australia, we don't get as big a variety of pumpkin scents as other regions. So I'll take whatever pumpkin scent I can get and enjoy it to its fullest. And that is basically what I did with this scent. This is another one I have a little good stockpile of, because it's one I can see myself reaching for at least once every winter with at least 2 bars. Another one of my favorites, Pumpkin Honey Spice. This was from the last year's Harvest collection. As you can see, it is definitely one of my favorites. And I was feeling the mood because I went through 3 of them as opposed to 2 of them. It is, again, beautiful pumpkin, but then you've got the sweet, syrupy honey and that cinnamon and spices with it. This just made the house feel warm and comforting, but sweet and bakery all at the same time. Again, one I can see myself reaching for again before winter's out. And as I said, I do have a little stockpile of them, but my favorites, even though I've got a stockpile of them, as you can see, 3 bars in one hit, I can also see myself dwindling down quite quickly as well. So next I did a little bit of a combo here. So Two of these bars are not available here in Australia. One was part of a Bring Back My Bar, then came back as a release that you could add to club before they got rid of Always Get My Bar. Okay, so the two that are not available here in Australia are Almond Croissant and Churro Churro. So I did them in alternating warmers in the main area and the office area. And Almond Croissant is just what it says it is. It's a buttery, warm croissant. Churro Churro is dough and fried dough and cinnamon. They smell amazing in alternating warmers, but I did amp it up a little bit in the kitchen area by adding Perk Me Up in the kitchen area. Now, I didn't use the whole bar during that sitting. I would have used this also with some of those other scents we talked about. I just can't remember which ones, but I do know I definitely did it with this combo, and some of the other bakery scents in here, or the pumpkin scents, I probably had Perk Me Up running in the kitchen at the same time, just to give that warm bakery coffee morning feel. For me, coffee scents, I don't typically warm on their own. They're an accompaniment to other bakery scents to give that sense or feel like you've walked into a bakery or a coffee shop and you're smelling all the good bakery goodness. Now, it has been a long time since I have reached for my coffee scents due to shifts that I had been doing in coffee shops. So as much as I love the sense of coffee, I think when I was working in the coffee shop, which I don't do as much anymore, so now I'm craving those coffee smells again, I got my fill of the coffee smells by working in the actual coffee shop. So I hadn't reached for my coffee scents for a while. Prior to that, they were always going in my warmers along with the other, I guess, bakery type scents I would warm in the kitchen area or this type of area out here. And as I said, now that my shifts aren't really there, that I'm not working there anymore, and now I'm working in retail, I'm now craving those scents again and reaching for them. So I do have, I think, 2 more, maybe 3 more of Perk Me Up before I run out of Perk Me Up, because we don't see many coffee scents here in Scentsy in Australia. So that's where I typically go outside and search vendor wax for coffee scents. Saying that though, there is in next month's Bring Back My Bar a coffee scent that will be available here in Australia. And I'm probably going to pick up a few. Haven't tried it yet. I'm hoping it's going to be a good coffee scent, because as I said, I don't warm them by themselves, but I do like to throw a few cubes in amongst my bakery scents just for that ambience type smell. So I did get through over the 2 months, I did get through a whole bar of Perk Me Up. And then the last combo we have to talk about in wax. Now, I brought the donut collection. Had all intentions of doing a warming review, had all intentions of doing a first sniffs review. Never got around to it. Still in the basket over there for me to do. I'm about to do a warming review of one of them, but unfortunately it's no longer available. Neither is the coconut one. Sold out here in Australia already. The only one that is available now here in Australia is the maple bacon donut scent. The other 2 from that collection have sold out. I still might do a review of them so you can hear my opinions in case they bring them back at a later date. You never know with Scentsy. But with this one, again, I've got another bar that is not available here in Australia that I picked up at some stage on eBay or somewhere like that. So I did a combination of raspberry filled donut, which was from the donut collection, and graham cracker crunch. I wish this bar was available here in Australia. This is peanut butter. It's not even available in region 1 anymore. It was for a time and it was a fan favorite there. It's peanut butter and a graham cracker. So you get that sweet biscuity note and you get that peanut butter note, almost like a peanut butter cookie to my nose. And then I had it in alternating warmers with the raspberry filled donut, which to me smelt like the jam filling that you do get in a donut with that baked donut. This was a beautiful combination. The raspberry donut smell performed really well too. Good strength, good longevity. Definitely a combination I would do again. And as I said, because I do enjoy the coffee scents with my bakery scents, I did use up a little scent cup I had from a company here in Australia called Pumpkin Parcel Com of roasted coffee. So I did use that up in the kitchen while I was warming that combo. So that's the bars I've warming. Now we're going to move on to some of the oils that I was diffusing. These haven't been finished because oils take forever to get through, but we're going to talk about them because I was diffusing some oils as well. So during all my bakery phase, I had going in the diffusers from Dusk, Pecan Pie. So Dusk is a franchise here in Australia that does a lot of home fragrance. It does oils, it does body, it does waxes. And I typically go to them to pick up a lot of bakery scents for my diffusers because a lot of all the other companies that I have looked into, including Scentsy, I love their fragrances, but they don't stock a big range of bakery oils that I can complement with my bakery wax that I like to warm in my diffusers. Whereas Dusk have a bit of a bakery range. So down here you can see all those bigger bottles there, probably Dusk. I still do enjoy Scentsy oils. As you can see, I've got all of their collection. They did have bakery ones come out in winter collections, in Christmas collections, in Halloween collections, but they stopped coming here to Australia. So I get what I can get where I can get because I'm a bit of a home fragrance hoe. Now, going back to Scentsy, my children were down with a bit of a cold. So my daughter was blasting the eucalyptus oil in her diffusers. It's just something that comforts her when she's not feeling well. She likes to reach for all the eucalyptus scents. And that's the thing, as I was saying about the bakery oils. They're fantastic with all the other companies, including Scentsy, but they do tend to steer, I find, more towards your traditional herbally type scents as opposed to bakery or something like that. And then we had blackberry plum. So this is just a very tart, woodsy blackberry scent mixed with a little bit of that sweetness from the plum. I had that going when I was doing Halloween Town. It is one of my favorite combos to do. Okay, So the last little bit of this video, we're steering away from home fragrance and going towards perfume, because I do have some empties to talk about in body perfume fragrance, or some findings as well. So typically for me, my perfumes have always been Poison or Coco Chanel. They're expensive perfumes. Poison, to get a decent sized bottle like this size, is $300. And I've been wearing my Poison like crazy and have run out. I need to wait till I can afford to buy another one. And one of my workmates came to work wearing a perfume that I wouldn't think I would be interested in, but I ended up going to buy it. They were only $15. She found this company called Hideaway, and she was wearing lime and coconut. Smells exactly like Coco Lime, if you're familiar with Scentsi's Coco Lime. And I thought that would be a beautiful change for summer. So I went to basically just pick up the lime coconut one. And I thought for $15, a nice fragrance that I could wear for work and not waste my expensive perfumes on. So I picked up the lime and coconut. But because they were $15 each, I scrolled through their site a little bit more to see what else they had. And they had a dupe for Poison. So I did also pick up that. Now, does it smell like Poison? Yes. Is it an exact dupe? No. Now, the reason it's not an exact dupe is the Poison I'm drawn to is the Hypnotic Poison, but this would probably be a closer dupe to the traditional Poison. Hypnotic Poison has a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, perfumey sweetness about it. Whereas you can probably smell more of the sharper floral notes that you get in your traditional Poison with that. Will I still wear this? Absolutely. It is still nice, but it's not the complete dupe to Hypnotic Poison. I think it's more of a dupe to the traditional Poison. And then my husband brought me, while he was here, and because the box was in my empties, we're just going to quickly talk about, which is what I have been wearing constantly since buying it. It's called Vanilla Intense. So if you liked like Simply Vanilla, Vanilla Amber, this is just a basic vanilla perfume. Absolutely fantastic for winter. So that's kind of my body care, what I have been using perfume wise. And that is the end of this long video. It has been over an hour. I do apologize. That is 2 months worth of what I have been using, what I have been enjoying, what I have been wearing. Hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, stay safe.